Ozzy Osbourne is back with a brand new song, Patient Number 9. So first of all, let's take a look at what the Prince of Darkness has prepared for us, speculate a little on what we might expect from his upcoming 13th studio album, and then hopefully answer the question of whether Ozzy Osbourne's music is even still relevant today. Here you go. Very quick before we start, please do not hesitate to comment on anything you hear or see in this video, and especially if you disagree with me, because the whole point of this channel is of course to start a conversation about heavy metal music. But alright, let's do it. From the opening notes of the track, it becomes absolutely clear that Patient Number 9 is going to be a direct follow-up to Ozzy's previous studio effort, Ordinary Man. And this of course is no coincidence given the fact that the production team on this one is essentially exactly the same.
Every hallway's painted white as the light that will guide you to your hell.
And yet the opening riff does give out a slight No More Tears vibe, evoking a certain nostalgia from Ozzy's back catalog, which is only getting reinforced by the track's lyrics, especially in such lines like hiding the pills inside your mouth, swallow them down, then spit them out. I mean, it almost feels like it's some kind of madman who is writing it in a diary of some sort.
Hiding the pills inside your mouth, swallow them down and spit them out.
By the way, speaking about the song's lyrics, according to Ozzy himself, the song is essentially written about his wife Sharon and himself. And I guess the clues for that would be hidden right in the song's intro when the madman is actually calling for his mom, as we all know whom Ozzy actually has been calling Mama for a while now.
Mama, I'm coming home.
By the way, I was thinking for some time to make a special episode on the history of Mama I'm Coming Home, so if you do think that an episode on the backstory of that song would be of interest for you, please do let me know in the comments. As well as what do you personally think are the connections between Patient Number 9 lyrics and Ozzy and Sharon's relationship.
Alright, here's an opportunity to be creative.
But anyways, while the song's lyrics are of course reminiscent to the themes traditional to Ozzy's early days, it is actually the guitar parts which create the atmosphere of a perfect combination of the early sound with a modern 21st century vibe. And it is of course, at least partially, due to the exquisite job done by the legendary Jeff Beck, who was able to capture Ozzy's Sabbath roots yet leave his own trademark guitar sound. And okay, I'll be honest with you, for me personally, it is Jeff's solos, both in the middle of the song and the one towards the end of the track, which are actually the highlights of Patient Number 9. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Jeff Beck is actually 16 times Grammy nominee and 8 times Grammy winner, which makes him one of the most renowned guitarists to ever walk the earth. And yeah, you heard those numbers right. In addition, selected guitar tone actually works quite well with the vocal track, or should I better say double track, actually creating in your head this dark atmosphere of a lonely madman in a madhouse. And just to run ahead and answer your question, yes, Ozzy most likely does use a tiny bit of autotune.
It cannot be.
But realistically, in 2022, when Ozzy is 73, this is kind of expected. And I think that most Ozzy Osbourne fans are quite okay with it. For the video for Patient Number 9, Ozzy Osbourne collaborated with the comic book artist Todd McFarlane, who is mostly known among comic book fans as an artist for The Amazing Spider-Man and the author for the superhero franchise Spawn. The video itself, unsurprisingly, features Ozzy Osbourne himself as a patient in a madhouse, slowly turning into a goblin. And unlike Iron Maiden's video for Writing on the Wall, Patient Number 9 actually features Ozzy Osbourne himself acting in it and combines kick-ass comic book-like graphics together with this old-school makeup artistry, as if almost combining Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings adaptations with a Stephen King novel. And so yeah, while I personally cannot really call myself a comic book fan, this video perfectly captures the atmosphere created by the song, and in a nutshell, looks fucking amazing. Yet most important Ozzy Osbourne news today is not even the release of this song, but actually the announcement of the album of the same name.
Here I am.
So yes, Ozzy Osbourne's 13th studio album, Patient Number 9, will be released on September 9th, 2022, and will be simply packed with some kick-ass collaborations by Ozzy Osbourne with some of the best musicians of today. The most anticipated ones for me personally would be the ones by Taylor Hawkins, Zakk Wylde, Rob Trujillo, and the one and only Tony Iommi.
Shut up and take my money!
And simply by looking at the list of the musicians whom Ozzy Osbourne invited for this album, I actually have a feeling that Patient Number 9 is going to be much darker and heavier than its predecessor, Ordinary Man. And I actually have absolutely no doubts that at least some of the songs on this record will feature the guitar riffs, which will blow anything Ozzy Osbourne has produced in the past decade. The album is of course already available for pre-order on OzzyOsbourne.com. It is of course available in multiple formats including vinyl, cassette tapes, CDs, most of which actually include a comic book by Todd McFarlane. So I guess if you are a comic book fan and a metalhead, this is a perfect mix for you.
Hello there.
How are you?
Fine.
And yes, to be honest with you, I couldn't resist and I did spend a couple of bucks and ordered a signed copy of it. But if you promise to not tell my wife that I did spend money on music during these uncertain times, I promise to actually do a giveaway on the channel with a signed Ozzy Osbourne CD when the album comes out. By the way, speaking about uncertain times, I wanted to publicly once again thank Ozzy Osbourne and his wife Sharon for standing up for Ukraine and supporting my country. This truly means a lot to me and all Ukrainian metalheads. And please don't forget that the war in my country is still going on and there are still people dying every day. So please continue supporting Ukraine in any way you personally can. But anyways, going back to the album, God bless Ozzy. I love him and I hope that he will be able to rock on stage for another 50 years. And I personally still have my tickets for No More tours on which he's supposed to perform together with Judas Priest. But realistically speaking, Prince of Darkness is not getting any younger. And thus, of course, there is a high chance that Patient Number 9 is going to be Ozzy Osbourne's last studio effort. And given the fact that Ozzy Osbourne is actually gathering together some of the greatest musicians he's ever worked with throughout the years, I'm sure that Ozzy, and actually even more so his wife Sharon Osbourne, will make sure that if Patient Number 9 is Ozzy's last studio record, the Prince of Darkness will go out with a bang. So yes, I am very much excited for the upcoming record. Alright, so what about Patient Number 9? Did mighty Ozzy Osbourne go back to the roots and released one of those singles which sounds like it could have been released back in the 80s? No, not at all. Patient Number 9, despite having some elements of the early days, sounds fresh and very much 21st century like. But is it a bad thing? Not at all. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this track and it made me very much excited for the upcoming record, especially seeing how Jeff Beck was able to intertwine his own personal style with a classic Ozzy Osbourne sound, and knowing the fact that Rob Trujillo, Zakk Wylde and Tony Iommi are going to bring something else on the table actually makes me believe that this album might be the best thing Ozzy has released in quite a long time. But anyways, what do you guys personally think about Patient Number 9 and the upcoming record? Please do let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this short video, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!